what is your time of game?
Okay, time of game. There was many I had to go through because there were so many from so many different consoles, mainly from PlayStation and Super Nintendo, all the different games I played on that. Well, one moment in time that really stuck out was when I was playing World of Warcraft, and I was working as a maintenance supervisor at an apartment community. I lived on site, had a free apartment, that whole ordeal, and it was right when I took vacation time for I was there like 2.5, 3 years almost at this point. I took vacation time for the Wrath of the Lich King release, and I'd been I was dating during this time I was dating this girl. This is such a convoluted crazy story.
Well, first off, how many units were at this apartment complex that you had to take care of?
There's like 300.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So that's a really big.
It was a good site. I only had one technician there with me, so it was it was a lot of work. But since I was there for more than a year, that I had pretty much gone through and had hands on at every apartment just about. So the place is in pretty good shape,
And when you say hands on, you also met that girlfriend at that apartment complex.
Yeah.
Right? So you had your hands on that one unit.
That's right.
A little bit more so
That's right.
than the average tenant.
Now that was a crazy story. She was hot, from afar, or whatever. Anyway, so I mean, it was kind of one of those ones where oh man, she's pretty cute, and then the more closer you get, and you're just kind of I don't know. There's always, yeah. Oh, I don't know. Anyway,
it's the real life. It's a real life filter.
Yeah.
Distance.
Yeah. So that story is kind of crazy. Right when they moved in there, they moved down from Michigan. She moved in there with her fiance. Okay. But while they were moving stuff into the apartment, he was with his brothers or whatever, and she found out because she was a private investigator too. She found out that he had been cheating on her the entire time. So the day they moved in there, she gave him back the engagement ring, and she was like, "Well, fuck, and I'm down here with you. You're just gonna pay for everything, and I'm just here." He was like, "All right, whatever," because he was like,
What?
"Yeah."
That sounds really convenient.
Yeah. And
I should have asked more exes to cheat, because then you just have to pay for everything and.
Had so much
and you're in
money.
trouble now, so you'll pay for everything for me.
Yeah, but we had dated a bit, and I was still playing World of Warcraft, Burning Crusade at the time, and I don't know, it's all this crazy stuff. But anyway, their lease was coming up, and I think he was gonna end up moving back up there. And she was like, "Well, am I she was actually living with me for a couple months. She's like, am I staying with you or am I going back? What's going on?" And I was just like, I'm thinking, Wrath of the Lich King coming out, and I got a vacation coming up. Fucking see you. I know it sounds kind of silly, but we weren't doing too hot anyway, and I didn't really have there wasn't a whole lot of trust in that relationship to begin with. But kind of started on kind of a on weird terms, but. Yeah, I played a lot of Wrath of the Lich King. It was crazy. The beginning of that expansion was fucking pretty amazing, I would say.
So you planned all this out, though. I mean, you were planning your time around the game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I was, and it was totally, things were kind of, my company was starting to, kind of go down the shitter, too. They were selling off all of our sister properties. They were going to be selling the one that I was at, too. And and it was a staycation, I took the vacation time, but I lived on site, so it was always I was always kind of on call and all that kind of thing anyway. So while I'm on vacation, they're like, "Well, we see your truck there." It's like, look, it's my fucking vacation time. Am I supposed to leave the country or something? I don't know. So that was kind of annoying. That was one thing I hated about living on site, at your work all the time, is just not being able to escape it.
Yeah, bosses are the worst, man. How dare you, sir?
Yeah.
I'm grinding. Wow, can you just leave my truck alone?
Yeah.
How long was your vacation gonna be?
It was 2 weeks. I fucking crushed. Okay. Yeah, it was we were doing crazy shit. We were doing raiding content while people were still figuring out fucking questing. We're going pretty hard.
Like, you're a very serious World of Warcraft player?
I was.
How many hours a day do you think you put into that game?
I don't know. I had several characters. There was like 2 characters that had like 2 years in game played, like logged in game.
Okay.
Like, a lot of it was AFK time or crafting time or whatever. Who knows? But yeah, it was a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole lot of time.
What was your favorite class from that expansion?
From that expansion, I ended up liking. I played Warrior. Was one of my favorites. I no longer played a mage. I played a mage throughout most of Burning Crusade, but so Warrior, and I also tried a Death Knight. Didn't really like them, but I played a Ret Paladin, like DPS Ret Paladin, and I fucking did like crazy damage. Ret Paladin was pretty disgusting. But yeah.
So you're on your staycation, and you sent your girlfriend back up to Michigan when her ex-fiance that lived in the same apartment complex as you, but she was living with you, was leaving. So there wasn't really any reason for her to necessarily move because he was moving, but she didn't have that backup, right? Like, she just wasn't staying with him. She was staying with you at your place.
Yeah.
But it wasn't an official thing. It was just like, why would I stay in the apartment with him when I'm, having intimate relations with this other man? Kind of, am I getting that right?
Yeah, totally. Okay. I mean, that was kind of like just a financial security thing for her, because he was kind of paying for everything. And I guess the idea was if he left and he went back up there, that, if shit hit the fan, she wasn't going to have, the money to do whatever. So. Right.
But yeah. Okay. So then you get in, you play this for 2 weeks straight. I'm assuming.
Oh yeah.
And then what?
And then what? Okay, so then after that, probably not very long after that, after returning back to work, I ended up getting laid off, and they ended up selling the property and all kinds of shit, and so that was pretty crazy. But if that didn't happen, well, I worked a bit in maintenance after that too, and I ended up getting laid off from another one as well. If all that didn't happen, I certainly wouldn't be here. There's no doubt about that. It's the best thing that could have happened in all reality.
How so?
Well, I mean, I think about, and I always thought about this when I was there. I was always the youngest, maintenance supervisor. Whenever I met with all the other guys that were, much older than me, like more than twice my age, that just hated their fucking lives. I was like, man, I don't want to be one of these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were like, this is me. Like,
it's kind of one of those show up somewhat sober and you're the foreman type of deals.
Yeah.
So did you feel like, since they knew that you were at the property, and did you feel that resulted in, and you took 2 weeks off, which is a pretty significant amount of time, I would say.
Yeah.
Did you feel as though that resulted in being laid off at all?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. You can never tell. Like, sometimes, I mean, no, that wasn't really, I don't think that was really related to it. Because it wasn't just me. Like, everybody at the property pretty much got,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they ended up, new ownership and everything. So it was kind of one of those things that was going to happen, whatever the case. So it's probably a good thing.
Did your ex know, or was she ever jealous
of me playing
of World of Warcraft? And did she know that you were like, man, she's going to need my attention and I'm not going to be able to provide it?
Yeah, and I mean, kind of. That was kind of a. I think it was an ordeal because she, I don't know. That's always been a thing because games have always been a large part of my life, and that's why I'm not in a relationship now because I know with the amount of time I put into streaming and that kind of thing, there's just no way I'm gonna be able to give somebody the time they need, So.
Yep. We have a blog post on this exact kind of situation.
Yes.
A little bit. It's similar, but it's about figuring out how to be a gamer and also how to date and not be a shitty partner. So I'm glad that you recognize that. I feel like that's really important. So, all right. Well, awesome. Any recommendations that you have for people 2 weeks in, you planned this out. Obviously, you put some effort into making sure that you're gonna have your time alone. Like, do you still game that way? Do you still look into releases coming out in the future and kind of planning around them?
I mean, I don't really have to do that anymore. It's kind of like whenever anything new comes out or whatever, I'm just like, well, that's what I'm playing, and that's what we like to call no lifing over on my channel. Like, yeah, that comes out, we're gonna be like, when Friday the 13th comes out, we're gonna be no lifing the fuck out of that, like I did in the beta. That's a really good game. I would recommend any of you playing that when that comes out.
Yeah, I brought it up to Brian after you had mentioned it to me.
Yeah.
I was telling him about it.
Yeah. I remember checking out some of the beta. It is a very interesting game.
Yeah, no, it's good.
And how's your relationship with World of Warcraft nowadays?
Oh, I haven't played since Cataclysm, so it's been like 3 expansions ago. Actually, I haven't played a Blizzard title. Okay, so I played Cataclysm, then I played into Diablo 3, and then they had this scammy shit with the real money auction house and all that. I sold a couple items for $250, which is the maximum you could sell in there.
Woo.
And after that was it. I haven't touched a Blizzard title since, up to and including Overwatch. So,
right.
There you go.
I'm done. Done with Blizzard.
Well, Sequisha, thank you for coming on and sharing your time of game with us.
No problem.
Yeah, great having you, dude.
It's been fun.
Yeah, you can find them on twitch.tv/Sequisha or on Twitter @Sequisha. That's it for episode 12 of Backspace Nomads. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.